the rain. Well, to make a long story short, they got away because there wasn't no animal alive what could keep up with Clyde once he got started. He was the fastest steed on the whole desert babies. Anyway, they made it across the border where Ahab hocked all his rubies and emeralds and bought him a swinging little split-level pad, and they lived happily ever after. And that's the story about Ahab. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Though there's kind of a big one happening in a hunk of metal barreling towards Earth's closest heavenly body, that hunk of rock that shines every month so brightly in the evening sky. We call it the moon. Aboard that machine are four astronauts: Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook,
right.
and Jeremy Hansen.
Yes.
For those of us in this neck of the woods, Christina is ours.
That's right.
All ours. She's a graduate of White Oak High School, which is located just a little over a mile from where we're sitting right now. Good Friday evening. I'm Rayford Brown, and I have a burr under my saddle this morning, likely going to get me into even more trouble as the day wears on.
Oh, joy to the
really?
world.
Here we go. Yeah.
All the boys and girls.
Yeah.
Good Friday Eve. I'm Lee Barrels, and one more day.
One more day.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend, too.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So we'll see.
Yes.
There's a snowstorm brewing, but not around here.
Thank
Somewhere
goodness.
there's a snowstorm brewing, right?
I watched the Tornado Chasers last night. That was exciting.
The question that I have, they chase them. What are they going to do if they catch one?
Look, I've watched them drive into the middle of
but
one
do
before.
they catch it, or does he catch them?
Well, they drive out of it, but they get so much scientific information from them, because some of these, like the one I watch, Reed, he's got all this scientific equipment with him and in his vehicle and on top of the vehicle, and it gives them so much data with each storm. It's very interesting, very educational too.
We were one of the spotters for a storm chaser one time that down at the TV station. He was from Leland. And last name was Sudduth. I was a Rick. I forgot his first name. But anyway, Mr. Sudduth was cool. He'd go down, he'd give us reports back, and
send us videos, send us all sorts of stuff, right? And call from the middle of these hurricanes from here, there, and everywhere for our newscast, which is wonderful.
Right.
You know, it was a good deal for us. We sponsored him. He did all that for us and for other individuals too. But being from our neck of the woods, and we were the first on board with him, we got preferential treatment. So that was fun.
Good.
Until
Uh-oh.
that storm chasing vehicle that he had,
Right.
he got caught.
Oh my goodness.
He got lucky. He came back and he was like he had been in a war zone. He did not look good. His disposition was completely different. He had a radical change of life.
I imagine. Well, Reed has one vehicle. It's called the Dominator 3, and it's a Ford F-250 that's been made over. It looks like a tank, the outside, and it's got all this protective metal against hail. It's got special windows in it with window on the outside of the window, plexiglass type, like all that. It's got so many safety features. The doors open up. And then he's got this system on that vehicle that if he sees he's going to be or get some type of hit from the tornado, he can pull it onto soft ground, and he pushes a button and the truck drops to ground level, so there's no way for air to get underneath. And it's got these big round stakes that come out automatically from the vehicle and dig into the ground. It's really cool. It's really cool.
That's good.
Yeah, it can be exciting to watch it.
You ever been gone behind in a path of a really strong tornado? They had a series of them in '84 down in Robeson County, in that area.
Right. I've seen what happens.
I went over there. But you see little pieces of very fine twigs impaled in the side of a pine tree.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you remember when they came through? This was back in the 80s, I think it was. We had some that came through 17 South, and there was a trailer sales lot that was hit pretty hard. And I remember we had to go sit in that at night.
They're always targets.
You know, for security reasons. And, man, it's just the stuff you saw.
Anyway, yesterday afternoon, after a short delay, right? NASA's
9 minutes, 11 seconds.
Not that you were counting. NASA's Artemis 2 mission is the first crewed flight to the moon in over 50 years. You were watching the liftoff. Pretty.
Yes. Beautiful.
Had the sky was just right for it.
Yes.
No clouds, no nothing. It was nice. And we have, like I said up here earlier, we have one of our very own, Christina Cook, on board.
Yes.
And Christina was a student here at White Oak High School, and she was a cheerleader.
Yes.
And you have a
my daughter was a cheerleader also.
They were at the same time.
Yes, they were cheerleaders at the same time. Because I mentioned to her yesterday, she goes, "Oh, Mom, we were in cheerleading together." I was like, "Oh, okay." So she watched.
Did she have any dirt that she wanted to tell about Christina?
Even if my daughter knew, she would never tell. I mean, not that there was anything dirt, but my daughter's just. She's a good girl.
So you wouldn't know whether there's anything dirty there or not, right?
Why are we even bringing that up?
It's just to get you going.
Yeah.
No,
good people.
This Christina is apparently a very good lady.
Yes.
She's got a fine family here. They live in Swansboro, I think, or they were.
I think I know Marty was saying at one time she was living right behind you when she was going to school. So I don't really know. I don't know if they're still in the area. I don't know.
Well, they're in the area. I just don't know where. It's maybe this time I can convince them to let us be patched through. This is a pretty tough mission this time. It's not like they're going to get up there and just ride around, sit there, do nothing.
Well, it'll take them 6 days to get to the moon and be able to go around it.
They're taking their time.
Well, everything works out all right because as each day goes, they push them further and further into space.
So the astronauts, they're going to circle the moon, literally going to the dark side, and we'll be testing various equipment, much of it developed after the last lunar mission. So they don't really have a lot of stuff on board that was current the last time we sent people to the moon or to that vicinity. So they got all brand new equipment, all sorts of stuff they're testing for the very first time in that environment. This is all in preparation for future trips that will see Earthlings once again set foot on the moon's surface. I'm pretty sure they'll have more important chores than hitting a golf ball to see how far it would go when there's no gravity there. That's pretty much all we did, collected a few rocks, yada, yada, yada. On this 10-day trip to the moon and back, the crew will test Orion's ability to operate in deep space. Orion is the vessel that they have.
Right.
During their trip, they will take a 230,000-mile excursion side trip, a journey around the moon, a journey that is expected to take 4 days. During part of that time, the astronauts and the spacecraft will be beyond radio range, out of contact. That's what mission control will be grounds to. So we'll tell you that's grounds to bite your nails.
I tell you, I was nervous watching it. I was so nervous because, I watch the SpaceX launches, which are like twice a week or more, and I watch those continuously. But this one made me nervous because there were people in it.
Yeah, our people too.
Our people.
So,
and it made me nervous. I was just like, and it wasn't that long ago. I was going back on YouTube watching a lot of old videos about the Challenger and stuff like that. So that's in your head while you're watching this, but it was beautiful.
Well, when they get, I remember on one of the missions, they were always in constant contact, right? And then they say, we're going around the moon now. And I forgot how long, they were close to the moon's surface. So it wasn't like they were far out and it took forever to get around. So it didn't take them very long, but that 27 minutes or whatever it was, I don't remember. There was total quiet in mission control. There was not a whole lot being said.
Right.
And when the craft came around and it called mission control, there was a screaming and hollering up there. Cardinal is back. They were people in mission control were cheering. So,
well, I would tell you, I noticed yesterday that, in the past, many years ago, whenever we had something big going on in space, and you can watch the old videos, the room was packed full of people.
God, yes.
100 people, everybody at a desk. I was sitting counting heads yesterday. There was like 30.
Yeah.
And that's how far we've come. You've got one laptop that handles this. But they did have one delay yesterday, and it was over. Well, first they had a battery issue when they were testing everything.
Christina forgot to file her nails.
Well, the thing about it is, it wasn't the battery was fine. It was the chip, the on the dash.
The warning light
or whatever. And so they determined everything was okay.
They have that in airplanes. Right? They don't know whether it's sometimes when the warning light comes on, you reach over there and you tap it and it goes out and everything's okay.
Well, the thing about it was they determined everything was fine. It was just a little glitch in the chip or whatever.
The warning system was
bad.
bad.
The thing about it is, where they used to have a check system that was like one page, this was like 139 items, and they got a little behind checking everything off. So when they got to 10 minutes, they held so they could finish checking their list.
Yeah, there you go.
And after they check their list, they have to call each person that's in charge of a certain section. Are we good to go? We're good to go. Meaning we've checked all our stuff. It's good to go. It was a very short delay.
Just push the button, y'all. We're ready here. Hurry up.
It was exciting though.
Hurry up.
So
I gotta
exciting.
get up there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The fish are biting. Let's go. Let's go.
It was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had been there. Yeah. I wish I had been there and see it in
wanted
purpose.
to be aboard one of those boats and heading up to space?
I'd be like, please go over me. But I like watching it when they drop the booster, they drop the fairings, because I learned all that from watching so much SpaceX.
You ever wondered about, which I do, the ocean's big, but the chances are that I could be out there somewhere way out yonder when that booster separates and it falls down, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, in SpaceX, what they do with the booster, you can watch it, and it's good now
They
because
recover them.
they actually have cameras that you can see all this as it happens. But the booster separates and it comes back down, and it's got engines that are propelling it. And it gets to a certain point, the engine goes down to one engine, and then the landing engines come on when it's ready to land. So you get full engines, and these little flaps come out, and it lands directly on the bullseye on a ship that's
Right.
out in the ocean.
Things are a whole lot
Everything
different. They used to
so
be
lot
that have the ships. They did everything in the world after they could get satellite coverage,
Right.
so they could be out there with live cameras and watching it come down. And
And
then there was the one where the astronaut was in the water when
could
they
you
got
imagine?
there, and he got nervous
Duck.
and he popped the hatch, and he got out, and he was floating, and the spacecraft had filled full of water and
Really?
sank. Yeah.
Oh, well,
They
he had the door open.
Yeah, they recovered that a few years ago, but they've been looking for that since the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool when you're watching it, and like the nose cone cover of the satellite, the actual booster, the actual ship that they're in, it separates like an egg. It just separates and it goes off into space and eventually comes down and it falls into the ocean. And then they go pick it up. I would think once it hit the ocean, it would sink, but it floats. I don't know. It's crazy.
In 2027, just a couple of years from now,
Going to the moon.
we're getting there, assuming all goes well. Artemis 3 will return to the moon for an extended stay to gather data to study as we plan for future trips. Trips
Cool.
that will see astronauts assembling structures.
Yes. Yes.
I hope they got a kitchen and a bathroom. It's going to be an exciting time to be an American once again. A word of caution, other countries are working on plans of their own they hope will keep the U.S. eating their moon dust. Y'all, get out of the way. We're coming through.
I do have to say yesterday, Rayford, the ham radio group, everybody, there were so many getting on, so excited about it.
Yeah.
Bob Williams was giving updates, 5 minutes, blah, 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 blah. But to hear the excitement amongst the people and how proud everybody was
Oh, yeah.
that this is ours and this is America and we're putting a rocket up there. It was awesome to listen to everybody yesterday.
Yep. Counting on everything going perfectly.
Yes.
So,
most definitely.
might be fun to leave behind signs pointing them, though all those people that are going to follow us, pointing them to the non-existent important sites on the moon. After all, all's fair in love and lunar wars, right?
Right.
It ought to be a good time. Ought to be a good time. Good time for me, anyway.
Yes, yes. Real quick before we get into weather, just want to say good morning to a lot of our listeners who are leaving comments. There's Tom. Hi, Tom. Hi, Jim. Pastor Jim. And hi, Kathy, a.k.a. Stephanie. And Miss Elsie. So we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. It's good to
Come
see
on
everyone.
down. Let's have some fun.
Right.
Oh, anyone been offshore or near shore fishing? This is a question for you folks out there. I would like a report. Yes, no matter what you say, I'll understand that half of it will be a lie, so that's okay. So as soon as the weather is over,
Big.
please light me up with a fishing report this morning. If you've got something, if you've been offshore, been near shore, you've been in the water, and you've been catching something or not catching something, you want to lie about something that you almost caught, cool. Tell me how big it was. Since I can't venture out there right now myself, I want to live vicariously in your shoes. So light me up this morning. Good fishing often depends on the weather. Nice fishing conditions always depends on the weather. Today, out to 20 nautical miles, southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. They're 10 seconds apart. Nice, nice, and nice. Sounds and rivers light chop. Tomorrow, southerly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers a light chop. And on Saturday, it's just a mirror. Here we go. Wind side of the south at 5 to 10, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
And today, sunny with a high near 83, light south wind increasing 6 to 11 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 18. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 59. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 80. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 83. And Sunday, expect some showers to come in late in the afternoon. And we have like a 70% chance. So please, rain. Please.
Yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on.
We need some water falling from the sky.
Yes, we do.
All right. Our amateur radio group up there, we got people get up early in the morning and they don't phone in. They just get on the radio and they call me in the mornings and they give us current weather conditions. Got a new gentleman, a young man over there at Emerald Isle. Welcome aboard, Austin. For those of you who may be tuning in on ham radio, you can find him, KR4AJP. So, generally you'll find him around the 147.000 net. So you can, or the repeater, so you can reach out to Austin and say, hey, and welcome aboard. It's 60 degrees on Emerald Isle, clear. He went down and actually checked the water. It was 1 to 2 footers of small waves. And he said it was semi-glossy and very beautiful. Wonderful. Appreciate that. Randy over to Southwest. In the golf cart with Boomer, 56 degrees, 98% humidity. Boomer is his dog. 30.23 inches of mercury, clear, calm, nothing. Nobody's got any rain. Lee over in Back Swamp, 58 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.03 inches of mercury. He said, beautiful moon this morning, big and beautiful, calm, no wind. Carol reported in from River Bend. 57 degrees, 98% humidity, calm. Joe in the Borough, 62 degrees, 92% humidity, 30.24 inches of mercury. Winds are very light from the south at about 1 mile per hour. Brian, also from the Borough, just a few minutes ago, checked in, 61 degrees, 87% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury, no wind. Ward in Cedar Point, 64.2 degrees. He's a very specific kind of individual. 89% humidity, 30.35 inches of mercury, and steady. Southwesterly wind, but very light. Craig got him this morning from Richlands. He was on his way to work. 59 degrees it was. Lee over in the Woodlands section of Northwoods, 59 degrees, 92% humidity, 30.23 inches of mercury, and steady. Calm. James down in Bladenboro. He's on his way. I think he was headed up to New Hanover County. He said it was 60 degrees, partly cloudy, and he had some very light ground fog. Here at the studio in the country club area, it's 57 degrees, 99% humidity. Of course, we got nothing in our rain gauge either. There's no indication there's going to be any rain. It feels like 59 degrees outside. What else we got? 30.05 inches of mercury. And that's about all there is there. Okay. Looking good out there, guys. Looking really good. Take advantage of it. Again, if you've been offshore the last day or 2 or 3, ring me up and let us know what you caught, where you were. Did you see any birds? What did you see out there? I need to feel what you're feeling. 910-333-0139. Yes.
It won't be long, and it's time for the big Marlin tournament.
Yeah, that's
big rock.
What is it? May,
June, first week of June.
Okay. Well, that's
go ahead.
That'll be right around the corner. I got a gentleman called yesterday. You were in here when he called. I think you were leaving, but he wanted to tell me about. He got some good intel, some information that dealing with Iran and dealing with whatever we got. That if we do not win this, there is a new national anthem that's going to be played.
Ever after. And that's the story about Ahab the Arab, the sheik of the burning sand. Ahab the Arab, the sheik of the burning sand.
You're so bad. You are so bad.
What?
Yes.
That was his fault.
Our new anthem.
And you know who it is.
I sure do.
Uh-huh.
Ray Stevens.
No, I'm talking about the guy who called yesterday, suggested this as the new national anthem.
I was not here. I must have
I
already
think you're
left.
just
Yes.
walking out the door or something when he
Yes.
called.
Yes.
Anyway, he called yesterday and Ray Stevens song, and he said it could become national anthem if we don't hurry up and
We're
get
not
on with fixing
going
some of our
to
problems
lose.
here in this land of camels, donkeys, and sand.
Well, the president made everything sound like
Did
it's
you
all
watch
gravy.
him last night? Did you watch him last night? Sorry, that was
Yes.
definitely a stupid question coming from me addressed to you. Did you watch this? What happened last night? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Did I learn anything
the
new?
was on TV. Yeah.
No.
You didn't. I did.
What?
Well, he talked a lot on live TV last night and about what's going on with the Iranian military operations and kind of a crisis there. Knowing that I am not a big fan of his outlandish claims or his blowhard attitude,
Here we go.
he's still the president.
That's right.
And I wanted to hear and read what he said. It was hard to get a handle on exactly his purpose last night. Maybe it was so simple that I was blinded by that fact. Okay. You're going to like this. Regardless, notwithstanding, and any other qualifiers you'd like me to use, there are some great takeaways from last night. Y'all have to hear me out. That when I cut through the BS, I can understand why the United States is engaging a nation so far from our borders when we already have plenty of enemies a stone's throw away that I would simply eliminate in the harshest way possible, knowing that no one really cares how many cartel drug operators we send towards the happy hunting grounds. But looking at a fact that I'm comfortable in acknowledging is accurate, y'all going to have to, those who know me, a handful out there, know that what I'm going to say, I will have some information on. Iran has not slowed down its production of enriched uranium since the Obama peace debacle. They've been doing it. You should recall that the United States, leading the way, demanded that Iran cease its uranium enrichment programs for weapons purposes a dozen years ago. We know that Iran, maybe you're in denial, but I'm a realist, and I know that Iran was doing exactly that. They were continuing. They did not slow down a bit. They just went deeper underground. They claimed they were only producing low-grade enriched uranium for peaceful purposes like, producing electricity. Those negotiating the peace deals in 2015 agreed that would be okay, but insisted that the United States and other nations inspect all nuclear operations in Iran. Fair deal, right? Somewhat initially agreeing, the deal was signed. First thing, no, not going to happen, they said. No one will inspect our facilities, and we have nothing to hide, but you're not coming in. So we, the mighty, mighty United States under President Obama, said, that's okay. We trust you. We trust you. Iran allowed inspections of sites they wanted us to see. Safe sites. Decoys. So for a decade, do what they wanted. It's only been a matter of words, stupidly started talking about their nuclear, and that was enough to get our attention. I'm glad it did. Now, as the president noted last night, which I take seriously, the rogue nation's leaders have, as has been noted, slaughtered tens of thousands of dissidents, including thousands of young protesters this year alone. Yes, they have publicly executed young people, teenagers, but teens who were adults. They were included in the murders that were committed, with the reasons given is that they had been convicted of breaking the laws of the land. The punishment for violating their laws can be severe, including hanging. While that is deplorable to most countries, including us, it is the right of the people of Iran to choose leaders to do what they want them to do. In other words, it's none of our business. Mass murder, on the other hand, is a different story. But still, how involved should we get? But here's Trump. Here's how he simply explained why the United States is so concerned over a rogue nation obtaining nuclear weapons. And he made it sound as simple as it really is. There is no room for interpretation here, misinterpretation. The nation, as we know it, is filled with terrorists. That nation is filled with terrorists. They're loaded. Iran was a safe haven for terrorists who trained there, then attacked our world, killing thousands on 9/11. Do we, as the president put it, do we really want a nation like this to have the capability to build nuclear weapons? How do we convince them that it's not a good idea, that perhaps the terrorists, including the remnants of ISIS, the thousands of murdering scums marching under the Hezbollah flag, who gladly talk about how brave those are who have died in the name of Allah, how they are martyrs? They'll give up their lives if they can take Americans or Jews with them. How would you convince them that it's not a good idea? Sharing dinner and maybe a glass of wine? Let me know how that works out for you. We are not at war with a country. No, this is not a declared war with any country. We are in a battle for the future of our children and grandchildren. Islam, Hezbollah, ISIS, all bent on killing Americans and Jews. Do you believe in a society where a woman or young girl is raped and she is punished in the harshest of ways? Is that what you want for your wife, sister, daughter, or granddaughter? Today's older military leaders, those with battle scars who have retired, are mostly singing the same tune, the same song I just put into words. We waited too long. We waited too long to do what we're doing. It should have been done decades ago. Now we got to play catch up. What I've drawn from the facts, as I know them, is my opinion. The facts, unfortunately, cannot be proven to those who are in denial. Every denial out here starts out with, but if. Who cares about but if? Sorry, my info does not come from Fox News, CNN, ABC, CBS, or NBC, the New York Times. They may have the facts, but they will assign a story and tell the reporter to start asking the questions with, but if. There will be no members of the intelligence community who can tell us how they know what they know. They can't do it. They won't do it. Good. They're not supposed to do it. What they might tell you is that all of the pieces of intelligence they are provided or they gather personally is compiled, and much smarter people than me and you spend hours, long hours every day locked away with like-minded partners trying to stay one step ahead of our enemies. And they do this while outside the political hacks do everything they can to smear whatever administration is in power. It happened in my time with Nixon, then Carter, then Bush, then Clinton, then the other Bush, then Obama, then Trump, then Biden, and back to Trump. It happens with all of them. I did leave out Gerald Ford. He was appointed to be Nixon's VP after the election was over, and he got elected after he was appointed after Nixon stepped down. He was the last man standing.
Well, I will say that address last night didn't tell me anything. It's the same stuff that he's been tweeting out and putting out on Truth Social for the last couple of weeks. And I thought I was going to hear something new. There was nothing new.
There was something fairly definitive there. It was very definitive in what he said about comparing. Do we really want...
Oh, I agree.
People who kill other people by the tens of thousands.
No.
Do we want them with nuclear weapons at their disposal?
No, but we've already discussed that. He's discussed it. We've discussed it. I was hoping that he was getting up there last night to tell us something like, this is it. This is what's going, and then it's over. Blah, blah, blah. But, it's good that he did address the nation about it.
It was good that he didn't tell us what's next.
Well, yeah, there's a lot that we don't know. And, and I don't care what U.S. CENTCOM says. They're not telling us everything, but I don't know. I guess it's great that he came out and said, hey, everybody, but I just didn't. I thought it was going to be something new to learn last night.
We got a gentleman in the house.
Yes, we did. We're going to switch focus now.
But before we switch, as we begin to switch focus, I've got a transition I'm going to go through.
Oh boy!
I got a text message last night.
Strap in, Royce.
I got my second text message that I've gotten recently from the same group. Good afternoon, it read. Pediatric anesthesia coverage is needed in Kentucky. Regional, NICU, PICU, sedation, 8S and 10S. Do you have any PRN availability? Signed, Madeline at MPLT Healthcare. It was sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was sent to me. I responded. I appreciate the offer. I really don't perform such services on pediatric patients. I have been known to knock some older folks out, not necessarily on purpose, while I was a police officer during 18 years of service. I believe that you may find that the Dr. Rayford Brown you're looking for is living in another town in North Carolina. A little research on the Google Isle may help you with that. If you should ever require services where my experience would be of help, I will gladly send you a rate sheet. Take note, in situations where I might be needed to help sedate obnoxious, loud politicians, there is a hefty discount.
So today you're going to get a text from a psychiatric hospital.
Good. I can knock him out too. Hey, Royce, how are you?
Good morning.
There's another guy with my name, and he is a doctor of anesthesiology. I looked him up one time, and this is the second text. Why? I mean, how did you even get my number for that? They didn't verify. They didn't. This is weird.
Well, I got a text from the IRS the other day saying, "Oh, we've got a new page. We invite you to participate in." I'm like, IRS does not send that stuff out.
No.
I am not clicking on that link. No.
Anyway.
Anyway, good morning, Royce.
Good morning.
How's business in Hounslow County?
Hanslow's moving along. Every day is an adventure.
Hey, at least the heat's off of you for a little while. Shifted back to the city for a while.
Yeah, that's right. I've been getting questions about that. Somebody asked me about that last night. I was like,
did you get
well,
bricked?
you know what? As a city taxpayer, I want them to do whatever's the cheapest.
Yeah,
Right.
that too. I just find it kind of funny. You know, I worked downtown. Those bricks were never there.
Well, did you read Cindy Edwards' post last night?
I didn't.
You'll have to read it. We'll go over it later.
Yeah,
We're
we
going to
will.
give you your
It's gonna
time
be
because
good.
I know you have to leave.
No, he doesn't. He's going to be here.
He's got an appointment later.
Well, he can call
We
me.
have a Salvation Army food distribution.
Oh, no, you got to
this
go to
morning.
that one.
That's
But,
right.
Yeah, I got to be there, but I don't need to be there till 9.
We
Oh,
heard.
okay.
So
Oh,
I'm
Yeah, we got
doing
you.
okay.
all right.
Leave about 8:30. I'll be good.
We got you. We got you covered.
Good. Well, we're going to talk county, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk county. We had the mayor of Holly Ridge in yesterday.
I heard him. Yes.
Talked about and how things are moving along and yada yada yada. Hopefully, everybody. It's just like I had to quote one of your fellow commissioners. He said, "You know, I voted against this. I didn't support this. I didn't do that. But you know, the board did, and I'm going to go with their decision, just like the rest of Onslow County should be
Right.
doing."
Mhm.
So, duh. It's happening. There's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Right.
You can get out there and protest all you want, but you know.
Well, together
Mayor
you're a
Pete's got a-
team, you know. So
Mayor Pete's got a real vision for Holly Ridge, and he can see the future, and you know, these small towns, you know, people, Onslow County. I mean, it's going to grow.
It's exploding.
It's going to grow, and if you know, I told Lee I was at the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I was at a NC East Future Forum. It was about the whole future of the east of Eastern North Carolina, but looking at a map, I mean, Jacksonville, Onslow County, and Wilmington, and a little bit of Pitt County are the only counties that are growing in Eastern North Carolina.
Well, you know,
Most of the counties are really
we-
struggling.
You said it, and Onslow County is going to grow, and then other people say Onslow County is growing. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's a great thing. You know, if you think about the flip side of that, you know, empty schools with no kids, that we're trying to sell because that are not worth what we paid for them because the values have gone way down. People with houses that they finance that they can't sell because nobody's coming here. They can't. They're going into foreclosure because their mortgages and they can't sell their houses now and they're not worth what they paid for them. Look, you either grow or you die. I mean, that's the only two options. It's hard to stay right in the middle.
Is there a point when you have to settle down just a little bit, or do you always have to grow? I mean, we're going to run out of land. Well, to build stuff on, right?
You can't settle down. I mean, what do you do? I mean, I've had suggestions that we put up toll booths at all the entrance roads in Onslow County. Yeah,
that's a source of money.
Yeah, I mean, but literally, you can't stop the growth.
Right.
If we don't have houses for people, then they're going to buy in Duplin County and they're going to buy in Jones County. They're going to buy in Pender County and they're going to drive on our roads to get here to work.
New Hanover County found that out a long time ago when I was there. They said, okay, suddenly Pender County, which had a very low tax rate at that time, Pender County was the place to live. Brunswick County was the place to live over there in the Leland area, LA, they called it. And it was just like, not great place. We always made jokes about it, but guess what?
If they live on Gum Branch Road and there's no place for them to get groceries or get a haircut, they got to drive to Jacksonville or they got to drive to Richlands. It puts traffic on Gum Branch Road.
Oh, that's special.
So some retail where you need it is what we need,
Right.
To keep the traffic off the roads.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have a Horizon 2040 plan, which now is probably about 5 years old. So there's going to be some
Time
updating.
for some updates.
We got to do some updates. Yeah. I mean, we have to do those pretty regularly, but,
are we getting surprised by any of this growth? I've heard about it for years.
I don't think we're surprised by it at all, but I do think that we had a couple of very serious setbacks with what's called Hurricane Florence and pandemic, and if we hadn't had those setbacks, we probably would have been in a better position now for the growth that we've had. So, but we got plans in place. If things keep going the way we are, I think we'll be prepared for the growth as it gets here. I mean, it doesn't call I handed you this.
Yeah.
This is our latest handout that we've done with the county, which projects our population at 280,000. In 25 years. We've grown, if you look at the other side, we've grown 68,000 in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
So, preparing for 280,000, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing every day in our projections. We got to be ready for it. If something happens and we can't prepare for it, then we'll be in trouble.
Now, I'm one of those that's going to harp on taxes. You know that.
I know it.
So, and it's not in a bad way, but in a factual way, because I think the people deserve, the rest of the people deserve who are not part of this growth project personally, on a personal level. Is it going to benefit the senior citizens? Is it going to benefit the retired people in here? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. Could be. Is it going to hurt them? Yes. Maybe. Could be. We all realize that, I'm sure. But with all of this growth, as you and I talked, as Mayor Pete and I talked to you, we talked yesterday, people moving in, all these homes that are being built, services have got to be provided. That's required. There are certain things that the county's got to do, certain things that the cities have got to do by law. You got to do it. You got to provide schools for the people that are moving in here because they're going to bring little rugrats with them, right? Mm-hmm. Or they're going to have them when they get here.
Children. Not
thing.
Rugrats.
Ankle biters. But
Those are Chihuahuas.
same thing. But seriously, that's going to be the way it is. You're going to have people coming in and they're going to require services. That means tax dollars are going to have to go to take care of those services. And then, of course, they're going to generate money. But the question is, even their property taxes, when they start paying it, they're going to be paying for just maintenance. They're not going to be paying for the extra schools and stuff that was built to take care of them, right?
Well,
The rest of us are.
we do as much as we can under the law as it currently is to mitigate that. For example, the last the school before the last school that we built was on land donated by the developer.
Sure, that was great.
Nice.
That was a good deal.
Anybody got
The
land for
next
sale?
school
Want to
that
get
we
rid of?
build is probably going to be on land donated. We'll see how that goes. But, we can't legally force these developers to pay. And that's something that, our legislature could and probably should change.
Okay.
Let us, give us the authority to do that. We can't.
Well, that's where I was going. So now
Right,
I have an answer.
we can't force them to do that. If they do that, it's because they think that it's in their best interest, not the county's best interest.
Oh, I understand that.
That is an issue. We need the legislature to help us not limit our tax revenue, but make it more fair. And the way to do that here is with some sales tax increases as opposed to property tax.
That's part of it. Yeah.
And we've advocated for that with the commissioners for years. I hear there's maybe a little bit of movement in the legislature this year.
That's good.
I hope it will be, but if the legislature puts limits or regulations or new regulations on property tax, then obviously we're going to abide by the law because that's what we have to do.
Then you got to tighten your belts.
We got to what?
You got to tighten your belts.
Well, let me tell you, 80%, you know this, 80% of our budget is already mandated.
Yep.
We have to fund the social services and the health department. We
And
have
the
to fund
schools.
the jail and the
And the
schools
jail.
and the courthouse. So that means that there are roughly 19 or 20% of our budget that are not mandated.
So that's
That
the part
means
you have
that
to tighten.
if we start to cut, we've got to cut. We can cut our parks and
Parks and Rec.
recreation,
Which
we-
everybody mandates. They scream and
Which-
holler about it.
which people want. I do believe that they want it, and it's also parks and recreation are great for economic development. If you want people to stay here and spend their money here, they need things to do, places to go, people
Right.
to see. We have to cut things like the libraries and museums. We have to cut. We can cut our ambulances. We're not required to provide ambulance service. We're not required to
You
help.
already get calls about not having enough.
That's right. We already
We
have
heard
a
it from
problem with
Holly
that.
Ridge yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not required to help our volunteer fire department stay solvent. I mean, that's $10 million. We could theoretically cut.
Open that can.
And so, the things that we would have to cut would hurt our people. It would be the things that the people want.
I think that the people who want cuts, who say, y'all need to tighten your belts, we have to tighten ours because, we can't afford the food that we're having to buy. Look at the prices of that, yada, 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 yada. Look at the price of gasoline, because your price of gasoline is high too. Not budgeted for some of the increases there have been. I understand that. But but the people that who say cut, they're talking about cutting at the top, not services. They're talking about cutting. Maybe you don't need 12 superintendents for the school system, assistant superintendents. And I'm just picking on the schools for a second. Maybe you don't need all of the personnel that are out there at the top, not those that are providing the actual services in the field, not those folks. That's the other areas are the areas they will cut. Maybe you don't need brand new automobiles all the time. Maybe not everybody needs a car at the top to take home in the government. Maybe you don't need to provide those perks.
And I get that, and that's something that we look at every year in the budget. We can't look at every
Sure.
one of them,
Sure.
but I do think that I think that most of our department heads are frugal people who are paying property taxes just like you and I.
I know they are.
And they don't ask for things that they don't need. And they don't get very many things that they don't need, I don't think. There's always going to be a difference of opinion of what you need. Is this a need or want?
All I'm saying is, I'm not saying what I. I'm saying what the people. This is what they. I cuts, yes, but don't cut services to me. You need to provide the service. Don't cut my services, but can't you cut it somewhere else, like at the top?
No, I understand that, and I don't know what we can do if somebody's convinced that we have somebody working that we don't need. Then I don't know what we can do to convince them. They could come sit in all of our workshops for budgets for the next 3 months and
No thanks.
and see what these department heads are doing and what their workload is.
And I would encourage you to do that. I've sat in on some budget.
I've sat in on some too. and
workshops in the past and years ago because I'm like, holy crap.
We sit through a lot of that stuff, and for the most part, the majority of us are convinced that what they're asking for is needed.
Right.
I just looking at we've gone from 33,000 to 48,000 homes in Onslow County.
Yeah. But again, and if the legislature could come up with something, I don't know what would be the problem with the county for new construction, any new construction of having I don't know. I know we have tap on fees, impact fees. That's the word I was looking for.
I would love to be able to have an impact fee.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side of that is it's going to add cost to the house.
Yes.
And I actually I posted a video last night, a real short video, but I was actually in my office looking on my computer and looking at the MLS, and I searched for houses under $200,000. There were 19 in Onslow County. 19 houses. And the 5 minutes I was sitting there looking at it, it went down to 18 because somebody got contracted one of them.
Wow.
So, I mean, you want to know why people can't afford a house, and that's it. So what the county can do, I think, the only thing the county can do to reduce those housing prices is to reduce the cost to the builders. Provide more space for them to build, reduce the regulations, and improve the permitting times and costs.
Right.
But again, if you reduce the cost of the permits, then the taxpayers, are going to have to supplement that, and we don't want that right now. Our permit fees pretty much pay for the services that the contractors are getting.
Have you done any work on where these individuals, these newbies, are coming from? The new residents are coming from? Do we know what?
Your daughter can tell you that.
Yeah, what part of the world? I know she can.
They're coming from all over the country. I mean,
well, I remember down in New Hanover County. It's a different county because they have a different everything. Everything is different there. But they had people moving there from New York, California. When GE closed a facility there in California, a bunch of people moved in. They had 1,800 square foot houses that were costing them a fortune on a postage stamp size lot, and they sold it for enough to buy land.
$500,000-$600,000.
They
come down
they
here.
paid cash for a house in landfall.
Right.
Okay.
Look, I mean,
they're accustomed to those kinds of prices.
they come down here, and the first thing they want to know is how much are the property taxes.
Of course.
And I tell a few of them, oh, it'll be about $1,600 for this one. They say, is that a month?
Mhm.
No, that is a year.
Right.
And they're amazed
Yep.
that
Yeah,
their
we are
property
low.
tax is only
Well,
$1,600.
then we just charge all the newbies more money.
But that would be
More
great.
taxes. Can you do that?
I don't.
We're in the
We can't
medium
do
to
that.
low spectrum on our taxes and also county in
Well,
North
I
Carolina.
understand that, but the other point
Which is
is
good.
because you raise them, you're going to really impact some of the people who have been here forever.
Yeah, I would love to see some kind of homestead exemption
Mhm.
that was real. The little thing we got now, I think you can get 45,000 off of your
You have to be-
valuation if you got your income is $10,000 a year or something crazy. I don't remember what the numbers are, but if you're low income and and you're 65 or over, there is an exemption that you should apply for, but it doesn't help most of us.
And even if you are retired, that income that you got is called a fixed income. Fixed means you're using it already,
Right.
and you raise the property taxes, then you're going to have to cut out other stuff. That's where we, the people, have to tighten our belts. We would like to see the same thing
Well, guess
across the
what?
board.
Pender County residents just got their new reevaluations, and you thought it was
They
hot in Onslow?
They got guns over there, lots of them.
Pender
Watch out.
is, so it's not just Onslow.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
every county in the
that
state.
doesn't help me.
Was
Right.
it Pender? Somebody I
I'm just
saw.
saying there's no reason to go after the commissioners.
Should
Somebody I saw.
they're making the decisions.
Stop.
Somebody I saw from one of our northeastern counties. I don't remember if it was Pitt. They said their values went up 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Average 80%. Ours is like 37% average. But that was because they hadn't revalued in 8 years.
In 8 years, right?
Yeah. One thing I think the legislature should do is make everybody reval every 2 years. Let's keep these bumps as low as we can.
I don't think it's so much the problem. I think it's the reevaluation process. I mean, I don't understand how things can blossom so high in a matter of 4 years. I mean, why? Are we using the correct reevaluation process? Are we
a good
using a
question.
good firm, a good toolkit for it?
Are we doing it ourselves?
We do most of it ourselves. And that's a great question.
Right.
We are going to have some discussion about the algorithms and whatnot that they're using.
Right.
Because I've heard some. Again, we got to remember they have to value over 100,000, about 110,000 parcels of land in Onslow County in 1 year. And the value has to be the value on January the 1st, 2026. So again, if they looked at your house in March of 25, they had to estimate the value
Oh,
that's
wait a
going to
minute.
be in January of
Right.
26. Right.
Right.
So there are a lot of difficulties in this process. And even 10 years ago, it was not realistic to reval frequently because people had to go out, they had to drive and look and see.
Right.
Now they do it
Costs
all
more
on
money.
the computer.
Yeah,
They do it all on you sit in the GIS and you look at
then you
pictures
look at
and
Google.
they
Yeah.
can look and see if you put a new roof on your house in the
Right.
last 2-3 years.
That's
So
called maintenance. Why should I have to pay more money for
well,
that?
and I just use that as
I
an
understand.
example. But if you added a room, if you added square footage to your house, if they can see that stuff, and they don't have to drive out there and look at it. So if we did this more frequently, it would be less of an impact on the citizens,
You're going to have to put yours under a tent.
and it would.
No, it's not a tent. They charged me for the tent. But what I have done, I have ordered some of that World War II surplus netting that they used to cover tanks with, so
yeah.
you can't see them. It
Mhm.
blends in with the trees.
Mhm.
I've got some of that coming. Y'all not gonna catch my house.
Well, I know, Royce, there's some people, which I
Oh,
don't
my goodness.
know this to be fact, but there are some people posting that they hired a private person to come in and evaluate, and their evaluations were coming at like $33,000 to $35,000 cheaper than what the county did. I don't know that that's true, but that's a lot of people were saying that. But I know that North Carolina General Assembly, the legislature is talking about implementing a bill, trying to pass it through to where they can put a moratorium on all this increase in property evaluation for this year, and study that and find out why and how, and the system that we're using, is it good?
Now,
So hopefully-
that's the question. As part of that question, what will happen at the end of the said moratorium, because they don't last forever? Then you're going to have to make up for that with the bump in the property taxes. So you're shaking your head,
Well,
likely.
you're gonna have to make up for it somehow.
Uh-huh.
And look, they don't go back into session until April. Well, it is April.
This month,
Yes, it
right.
is. Welcome to April.
That's right.
April Fool.
But yeah, I mean, everybody in the whole state is in the middle of their budget process.
Right.
And they've already done a reval if they're doing one this year,
Mhm.
because the reval had to be effective on January 1. So, I mean, if they freeze the current values, it'll have no effect on Onslow County.
Right.
And if they try to make it retroactive and tell us we have to go back to the 2022 reval or values, then we got a mess.
Start
we
cutting.
got a mess.
See, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, because I mean, not only will we have our budget at least close to finished by the time they could do that, but every city, every town, they'll have their budgets already done.
Well, how are
based
you
on
producing a budget
new
in a
values.
year where you were just getting the reevaluations, and now you're having to take into consideration, well, wait a minute, is this reasonable? I assume that's what you're having
So,
to look at as well.
That's a good question.
And how are you deciding how much you can award each department? And then based upon how much money you give everybody out there, that's how you set your tax rate, right?
So the budget process starts at 0. And we look at all those mandated services and how much is it going to cost us to provide those services. Then we look at the other services that we provide, and we our staff decides what they think is necessary and needed for a new budget, and they come up with an amount that they need for to fund the county. Of course, the commissioners review that along the way, but mainly they're going to bring to the commissioners a proposal, and it's a number. It's the number of the amount of revenue that we need to fund the needs of the county. Then you look at how much you project the sales tax to come in, how much the little fees and other, the permit fees and the other little fees, which really isn't a lot of money, couple $1 million. And then you see what the difference is. And then you look at what the tax value is after all the appeals, which is going to be different from what it is today. You look at the tax value and you say, okay, what rate do we have to set to provide the services that we need for Onslow County? Now, we'll go into a budget session and we'll fight over some of those services, and we might try to say, oh, well, maybe we really don't need to do this. We can put this off for a year. We can put that off for a year to get the rate to move the rate a little bit, but there's only so much room there to argue about the rate. Last year, 3 pennies of your property taxes funded all of our libraries, museums, parks, summer programs, senior programs, youth programs.
That's
all of that was just 3 pennies.
That's 3
We
cents
could
on
have cut out.
That's 3 cents on $100. All right.
We could have cut your property taxes to 62 cents and cut out our every bit of those services.
No fireworks.
Now, forget those.
And that's all it would have saved you is 3 cents. I mean,
3 cents per $100.
Right.
But let's just take all of the other programs that you fund. Just out of curiosity, how much do all of these nonprofits? How much in the pennies does that take per year?
Last year, and I'm having to do this off the top of my head, so you can't hold me to this number, but I think it was about $2 million,
$80.
which was close to a little bit less than 1 penny.
Okay. So.
And understand this, I've always had a real problem with funding nonprofits. I think that, if a nonprofit can't raise, I'm the Salvation Army guy.
Right.
Salvation Army doesn't take your tax dollars to do the work that we do. But some of these nonprofits are doing work that I believe that the county would have to do if they weren't there. And I look at community outreach, the homeless shelter and the soup kitchen. And I believe that if the homeless shelter wasn't there, then somebody needs to provide that service for Onslow County. So I would rather give them some help to keep going than for the county to set up a new department with a homeless shelter. And the other programs that we fund for nonprofits are also programs that I believe are necessary for the community that we would probably have to fund internally, and I'd rather have private people doing it than have the government do it. That's the way I look at it.
And we've got certain groups like United Way. You give them a flat fee, they divvy it out to the people that they see deserve it, or need it, want it, whatever, right? How about one central organization? If it's United Way or whatever, just give them the money that you would give and set out to these other places individually. Give them and let them handle it all. That would take you out of the picture. You wouldn't have to decide who gets it and who doesn't get it.
No.
How would that work for you?
Yeah, I don't know about that. We actually just a couple of years ago we set up a system for evaluating these nonprofits, and we take applications. Our staff evaluates what they're doing. Is it something that the community needs? What is their funding source? How much of it are we funding? Because I don't want to fund it all. If the people don't want the service, then I don't think the county needs to force you to fund it.
That's a good point.
So, they look at how much of the funding is coming from private, how much of it is coming from the county. And theoretically, we don't want to fund the operating expenses of a nonprofit organization. If they can't raise enough money
Right.
to fund their own operations, then we don't want.
We're all familiar with certain organizations. They collect money, but they don't do anything. All they do is pay their own overhead.
Right.
And they don't benefit anybody except their staff.
Yeah, we don't want to fund anything like that. If we fund something, number one, it's reimbursement funding. So they have to do what they say they're going to do with the money, and then we give it back to them.
Okay.
And number two,
they have to prove it to you.
Yeah, they have to provide receipts and invoices, that kind of stuff. and we have internal audit people that check that stuff.
Well, do they go knock on doors and make sure they're not vacant buildings?
I that's a good question, but I think that in Onslow County, if that was happening, that people would know about it. I don't. I think they'd be screaming about it,
Yes.
and we would certainly do something about it. We wouldn't allow that to happen.
Well, one quick question. We were talking about the legislature introduced to put a moratorium, but my understanding is it would be based on what your evaluation was on December 31st of 2025. So whatever it was then, that is what we would hold at for a year. But the county is already doing the 2026 budget, but you're basing the budget on the new evaluation. So if the state put a moratorium and we go back to whatever 2025 said, does that mean the county's got to go back in and readjust the 2026 budget?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that would kill us, and all of our towns too, because everybody would have to go back. I mean, I guess
you would still have the same higher tax rate,
right? We have
67
to
cents,
leave
right? 65 cents, whatever it is.
65.5 cents, I guess.
So you would still have that. You wouldn't be losing anything more than you would already have gotten, right?
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's true. I know what he's saying, because if you drop the tax rate and then the state does this and you got to
Right.
go back to 2025's money,
Well,
then you've lost even more.
Well, no, you
Well,
just
and-
keep the same tax rate, 65.5 cents.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
think of-
If they based it on
Think
2026,
of how that's
and
going to
dropped
look if we come out
Oh,
in the
that
next
would
few
not be
months and
good.
say, "Oh, we're going to lower the tax rate to this," and then all of a sudden the state
it.
says
You better
we
move the
can't.
pender.
I know it. I would tell you that. Golly.
Yeah, what a mess this all is.
Well, the tax rate is not a real number. The tax rate is not a real number. Percentage-wise doesn't mean anything. It's the real dollars that it generates that means something, right? It's how much it costs me.
And I put
Whether
it,
it's 65 cents on a $100 valuation or 25 cents on a $100 valuation, it's
Here's-
what it costs me and on how much my home is valued at.
and here's the reason for the reval. Totally. I did a spreadsheet. I put together a spreadsheet, and I just picked 10 houses, the random across the county, and I compared how much their values changed. And there were houses whose values went up 84%. Others went up 20%. So the fact is that the people whose values went up 84%, they're not paying their fair portion of the property taxes
If
now.
indeed that valuation is accurate.
Well, that's accurate, right? But I mean, because why should somebody else get away with only paying?
I thought you meant the opposite. And I was like,
paying
what?
less? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Why should, and if you don't reval for another 4 years or whatever, then these people who are paying 80% less than what
Right.
their value is, what their real value is, they're going to get away with not helping to fund the services that they're getting for the next however many years it is until we reval. It's a huge difference. But if you're in the real estate and you watch it, this is what houses are selling for.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that obviously it would be convoluted and it would probably scare a whole lot of people away. This guy that's got a house that's undervalued, let's just say 84%, did you say, whatever it is, that it's really worth 84% more than it was valued at last year. If he sold it, he sells it, and you know how much he's going to get for it, then he could then pay property taxes on that amount of money. How would that go over? Like a lead balloon, right? because, he wouldn't be able to get as much money for it as he was thinking he was going to get for it.
Right.
But knowing it was undervalued, he should appreciate that. He should be able to understand it.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about that house that went up 84%. It could be totally gutted on the inside and totally worthless, and they couldn't tell that from the overhead view.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we have an appeal process,
Mm-hmm.
and people need to use the
Right.
appeal process if they don't think that their value is correct.
How about if we all
They
just
need to
appeal
use
it in general? That would just cost you a fortune, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean,
Keep them busy.
Yeah, to keep them busy, that's for sure.
Well, I know it's a big issue for everybody right now, and
It is.
we've weathered through the worst shock, the shock of it. We've weathered through that. It's not over with yet. Now it's like other counties' turn, like
We haven't got
Pender.
our bills yet.
And
Again, if
it'll start all over again.
if we reduce it under the new evaluation, if we reduce the tax rate by 40%, then the people whose value went up 80% are still going to pay more taxes.
Right. Yeah.
The people whose value went up 20%, they're going to pay less taxes.
Mhm.
So some people are going to be happy, some people are not going to be happy. And
So you're going to reduce the property tax rate by the amount of money that it went up, and the property values went up overall.
I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to set a tax rate that meets the needs of Onslow County. I hope what we can get, get in that area.
But you anticipate getting more money.
Probably, yeah. We have 4,000 more people.
Yeah, yeah, more houses,
Well, I
more
mean,
people.
not forget. I'm talking from the existing people who are here. You anticipate getting more money from them.
From the people who lived here on January 1st, 2026.
Who have been here for years. You will get more money from them.
I don't know about that. That depends on where they live. That depends on what their value did.
Well, I know you'll be getting more from me, so because
well, I mean,
my value
You're
has.
going to get more from. Well,
Right.
you don't know we're going to get more from you because if the
You have to
rate
set
goes
the
down
tax
enough,
rate. Right.
if
That's
the rate
true.
goes down enough, you may not pay more. And
It's true.
it's
I
going to
think about
depend
it
a lot
that
on
way.
what the city does too. The last time we revaled and the county reduced the rate, the city didn't reduce the rate.
Right.
Yeah. We will be storming City Hall.
So we'll see
Oh, Sammy.
what happens there.
Well, let's
yeah.
talk about budget. I mean, when will the budget be finished as it stands right now? Forgetting all this other mess. When
Well,
will
I
you vote
suspect
on?
we'll vote on the budget the middle of June.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
Any
what the
new
dates
services added this year?
are. I don't think so.
Any new departments?
No, I know we won't have any new department.
Anything?
Just wanted to check.
I can tell you that we want to start a beach rescue.
Thank you very much.
There you
I
go.
heard that.
We heard that, but
it's
we
not a
haven't seen
department.
anything.
It'll be part of our
Yeah.
EMS service. But I'm not sure
I
if we're going
applaud
to
you
get
for that.
those. I'm not sure if they're going to get those out this summer or if it's going to be next summer. I think
You got to get an operation, then they got to get trained.
yeah, I
Right.
think the idea was to get somebody hired this summer
That would be
and
cool.
a full-time director who will run the program and let him hire for next summer.
Isn't that something? Richard?
But we've been talking about that,
Right.
yeah, for years,
Uh-huh.
and trying to figure out how to do that. And we got a
You know,
great.
Onslow County doesn't have that, honestly, that much beach access area
12 miles.
Yeah.
It's 12 miles of
compared to a lot of places.
beach. Right.
You've
That'd
got
be nice.
you got New Hanover County, you got Rifle Beach, you got Carolina Beach, you got in between Carolina Beach and Curie Beach. Ugh, they got loads of stuff, and they're the smallest county.
Yeah, I think that's a great concept. Our new EMS director has proposed this for us.
Good. I like him already.
That's but that's again discretionary tax dollars. that the
Any
people
of it
are
going to
gonna have
come
spend.
from?
Well, we can get a lot of it from tourism money.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
it
did
should.
determine that is a tourist related expense. So yeah, we'll be able to fund
Yeah, because
most of that.
tourism folks will be advertising. We have lifeguards.
tourism.
Swim safely.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to have the whole mile stretch covered, just like your beach accesses, your county beach accesses. Put one there, you're good. That's 4 days.
And I think that North Topsail has some. We might can work with them to. If they were to provide some.
They need to provide some relief there too.
Something. Yeah, maybe we can work with them.
Yeah.
But that'll be a real help.
Tom says we need to charge an import fee for people moving here.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
Impact
I
or
agree with
import.
it.
I like the import fee. It's better than impact
I like
fee.
that, Tom. Import.
Good, Tom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what we were talking about. I mean, if we could charge some kind of impact fee
Well,
for new houses,
well, let's go somewhere where I'm gonna tread on thin ice. You ready?
All right, I'm back.
I'm ready. Let's
ahead.
go.
Yeah, the school system. Y'all deal with the budget. The school system gets its. They get revenue from Onslow County, but they get revenue from the great state of North Carolina. They get revenue from the federal government. Now they get something called impact fees per kid.
Military.
Yep. If you're military dependent and you're going to an Onslow County school, then there's a certain amount of money that you get. How much does it cost to educate a child at Onslow County per year? 2,500, whatever. Somewhere in there.
2,600 now, maybe.
And they pay $500.
Right. Now that one got to go to a Congress that
I
can't
know
pass a
that.
budget.
I understand.
Uh,
I understand that. I'm just saying, people, there's a lot more here to consider
and you know
as
what?
far as revenue
Which,
than just
That's-
our pocketbooks.
and it brings up a good point. Also, is a little different than
It
some
is.
of the other counties because we have the military base here, which we don't get taxes from. We don't get money from.
We provide services and they take advantage of our services, of course, and they pay for a lot of things that they do here. Gasoline. Yeah, they get gas aboard the base, but not everybody gets gas aboard the base. Those lines can be very long, but they go to the restaurants. They get clothing here. They don't get all the clothing they need at Camp Lejeune. They get a lot. They spend a lot of money to buy cars. You can't buy a car aboard Camp Lejeune. I don't have any. No car lots out there, right?
no, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
No.
They have some surplus sales from time to time. I don't want one of their Humvees or leftovers. But you've got the people who are there, who are living here, are assigned to either in the county or living aboard Camp Lejeune. They spend a lot of money here, a lot of tax money. We understand and we appreciate that. That's one of the reasons we have grown like we have grown, is because of the base and because of the military personnel here. But by the same token, being here should not provide an impact on the county school system. I think that's probably the biggest impact that they have.
We had an elected official luncheon. I don't know if you saw it, but a few weeks ago,
Who paid for it?
elected officials were invited to the base. That we didn't pay for it; the base did.
Thank you very much.
The federal government, yeah. And they we love our military partners, but
We
one of
absolutely
the facts that they provided for us was that they said that the buildings, not including the land, but the buildings on Camp Lejeune and New River are valued at $25 billion.
What a tax base that would
That
be.
would double our tax base.
We wouldn't
You
have-
could cut
we
your
wouldn't
property
have to
taxes
pay
in half.
anything, would we?
You could cut your property taxes in half if we had that $25 billion in value that we could
Nice.
tax.
And that's
Nice.
before reevaluation, right?
I don't know where they got their numbers from, but yeah, that's it's hard to
But something realistic, like,
It's hard to-
$500 they've been paying since the 70s at least, probably even before that.
yeah, that's
When you could probably educate a kid for $500 a year.
Yeah.
I think it's $500. I may be wrong. The school system will tell me it's no more than
Yeah,
that.
it is $500.
And but anyway, so if it costs $2,500, they're paying $500. It's still costing every taxpayer another $2,000 per year per kid.
That's right.
A taxpayer. They're not paying those taxes as property taxes
That's right.
unless they own a home here. If they own a home off the base, then their kid goes to school here.
And that is our world. Yep.
So,
So
we
I'm-
miss out a lot.
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
there probably needs to be some congressional assistance here. We have one senator, one leaving. We have one congressman. Ought to be able to get somebody's attention. Now, right now, there's a president who understands dollars. We don't have many president who understands real dollars. He's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this could be put to him.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you go for it? I mean, it doesn't hurt. I bet you Dr. Murphy.
Last time he
I
was
bet Dr.
elected,
Murphy
he
would-
invited all of the county elected officials to Washington.
Yeah, but
We
how many?
went up
There's
there.
two. There are two counties in Oslo, North Carolina, that have this problem.
Well, Wayne County probably does too.
A
to
little
some
bit,
extent.
Right,
A little
right.
bit.
Yeah. See
But,
more
Not
force.
much.
But yeah, trying to get to him is not. He's kind of got a lot on his mind right now.
What do you
Wow,
mean?
really? Why? What's the problem?
I have an inside source.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you tell him to. That would have to come through Congress,
would.
who can't agree on a budget. So,
Right, right.
I don't know.
Well, he'll be
And-
here
and-
next month.
You say it's just two counties in North Carolina, but it's all over the country.
I know that,
And
but
what
I'm talking
I
about- I'm
understand,
talking
yeah,
about-
they would have to.
Right.
You
they would
think
have
I
to-
really care about the rest
Well, I
of the
know
country?
that. I don't
Yeah.
either.
I don't
Okay.
care about Pender. I don't care about Cutter. All I care about is Onslow.
No,
That's right.
seriously. I cannot worry about the rest of the world.
I
That's
understand.
up to other people.
I don't worry about them, but I do. I try to see from their point of view that it's really actually going to be a whole lot more money than what it would cost just to raise
Mhm.
that impact fee for Onslow and Cumberland County. So yeah. Anyway,
And I think you're absolutely right. I think the federal government needs to know that I'm not going to say burden because it's not a burden having them here, but knowing what it does,
It's
the impact it does
it's called the
cause.
impact.
Right.
For a
That
reason.
I think that they should make up for that.
well, I totally agree.
Send us some money.
I've talked to all of our representatives
Mhm.
for the last 10 years about it. So.
Something you and I can probably agree on. You know that people scream and holler, "Oh, the city, they just gave me a ticket. It's so they can make a lot of money. They get paid a lot of money." Well, we know fines do not go to the towns. They don't go to the police departments. They don't go to anywhere except the school system.
Right.
The fines. Unfortunately, I see a lot of, especially in district court, just pay cost of court. Now, every traffic is a fee set in addition to cost of court. Seem to look out for the judicial system. Don't
Yeah.
worry about the fine.
That's true.
Why don't we, the people of Onslow County, that means y'all,
Mhm.
go see the judge, the chief district court judge, and say, "Listen up, you're costing us money. If you impose the minimum fine, even whatever it is, on every infraction, $10, $20, $50 fine in addition to the cost of court. Cost of court's $180, I think it is. Or used to be. In addition to your cost of court, you give us the fine money. You put that fine on these people, $15, $20, $30. It adds up
No, you won't increase more fees.
to the people who have broken the law.
But what if I was innocent and found guilty?
Then you wouldn't be found guilty.
My.
But seriously,
Okay.
But that's a state thing, isn't it?
no.
Well, no, I mean,
You can go see the judge.
you're right. I mean, the judge has the discretion to charge a fine or not. So,
And it
yeah,
should be fining them.
if they've
There's a source
to
of
find,
there's
it'll
a source
go
of
to-
revenue for the school system
I
here in
was
Oslo
innocent.
County. You know how
That's
many
true.
times I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know.
I have no
I know.
idea. I have no idea how much revenue the school system gets from fines.
Not
and
enough
penalties.
because they don't impose enough fees.
But
Well,
just think if
yeah, I
they
don't
didn't
know.
get that revenue, you'd be into a lot more for your mandate.
Yeah, and I don't know how many cases don't pay fines and penalties. So that's something to look into, I guess. But
Why not?
yeah, why not? Yeah, I got all the time in the world.
Yeah, you do.
Well, changing up the subject, how's our search for a new county manager coming?
Well, it's just starting. So I don't know how long it'll take. I hope that we don't rush it.
I
Take
hope
your
you don't
time,
too.
right.
That we take our time
Why don't
and
you just
try to
run
find
your
the right
top
person.
candidates by us and let us talk with them for a while?
Those grill.
Yeah, well,
Put them in a room with Rayford. If they come out, they're a good candidate.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're running along now with our deputy manager keeping things going pretty good.
Very good.
I don't know how much time we'll have for innovation and change and that kind of thing until
right
we
now.
get somebody
Yeah.
at the top. But as long as we can, we're doing okay. And we really need to get through this budget before we start putting the focus on a new manager.
And then to be realistic, then you'll have 6 months before you start the next budget. So you'll have
Right.
6 months to get one
Right,
done.
try to get somebody in and
Get them in. Don't like them, throw them out. That's right. Don't like them, go. No, but I will say the last couple of years, last 4 or 5 years, y'all have done a lot more with planning and building the strategic focus for Onslow County and building and working on the budget over the years. I think they've done a lot.
I think you're thinking further in the future than you've ever thought about before.
Right.
And
I agree.
congratulations for that.
I agree. And, I've said ever since from when I first started that I believe the most important job of the county commissioners is to plan and prepare for the future
Right.
of Onslow County. And we've really done more of that in the last 2 years. And again, people probably get tired of hearing me talk about Florence and COVID, but I lived through, I lived through those times when we did not have money to do anything except just try to sustain the county
Right.
and keep just keep our head above water and keep moving.
You finally got some of it back from FEMA, but people, when FEMA says, "Oh, we're going to be there, we're going to take care of you," somewhere down the future, you can get your
10
money.
years from now.
And after you've already spent $10 million on something to do whatever, then that's money that you had in the bank that you can't collect interest on. And then we'll give you your $10 million back, but you're still going to be missing the interest that you would have earned. I understand that. I understand
Well,
it.
speaking of hurricanes and planning for the future, I noticed like in your meeting that y'all have April 6th, public meeting, one of the things on the consent agenda was giving approval to this one company. You took bids for debris removal, like in case of a hurricane. And see, you already got your best bidder, and you have to pass the motion to go ahead and approve and sign the contract, which is good. I mean, we haven't hit June. We haven't hit the season yet, and the county's already gone and made arrangements to hire a company to remove debris.
Hard to find one when the storm comes through if you don't already have one in your
Prices have doubled then.
on your Rolodex, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Speed dial.
we did that after Florence, and we've had a contract with somebody since Florence to provide that service. It's a contract that doesn't cost us anything unless we need the service.
Good.
Right.
So it's a good thing for the county.
So
like
there's
you
no
said,
retainer fee or anything.
we didn't have.
That's amazing. Actually,
we didn't have anybody on call, so to speak, when Florence came around. I don't, as I recall. So it took us a while to get moving on that. Of course, that wasn't the only reason we couldn't get moving. People complained about us taking so long to start removing trash, but we didn't have any agreements with the DOT to allow us to go on the state right of way. People don't understand that we don't own any roads, which means we don't own any state right of way. We don't own any right of way. The city owns the city streets and they own the right of way. So they can go on the right of way and do whatever they want to do, including pick up trash.
Mm-hmm.
But the county does not.
Yeah, when you stack your trash beside the road, if you live outside any of the municipalities, that's not going to necessarily be picked up right away.
No, we know it doesn't.
I mean, the city has people coming in to do that. My God, they will drive up and down this road after Florence regularly.
Yeah,
I mean, I could put stuff out there and turn around, and it's gone. They were very efficient.
Well,
in the county, you saw stuff up there rotting.
Yeah, we had to get agreements with the DOT to allow us to go on the property, on their property, literally their right of way, and collect the trash. So it was a real process. We learned a lot. We learned a lot from Florence, and we'll be more prepared next time.
Would they have allowed your fire department, if that trash suddenly caught fire alongside the road, to come by to put the fire out?
Well,
that's different, Rayford.
Yeah,
that is
kind
just
of an emergency.
According to DOT, that's different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A little gasoline here and there, and it says fire to it, and then
Rayford, you got to use kerosene. The gasoline is just too
burns so fast.
Flammable. Yeah.
But didn't I read too where the county was going to open a new committee on the fire department? They hiring a new person. It's a new job. It's something to do, fire commissioner or something like that for the county.
And we did form a new fire commission. We didn't hire a new person for that. We are hiring a new fire chief for Bear Creek.
Oh, I see.
We had somebody who was on a contract, I think, and that we're going to eliminate the contract and hire somebody. But yeah, that's a Bear Creek fire chief. I think you're seeing.
Well, the Bear Creek is the one that the county's having to provide help because there was nobody, right?
Right. Bear Creek is the one that the county had to take over because they went out of business.
Yes.
Right. So that's a county fire department. We still have a lot of great volunteers that help there. We're building a new fire station for Bear Creek. That's going to be really nice. Be glad when we get that done.
You can house some EMS in it.
I think they're going to house EMS in that one. I can't remember. We are working on 10 EMS stations around the county.
Nice.
We're working on some new innovative ideas about how to get. Our problem with EMS is really right now we can't hire people. Last I heard, we were 30 paramedics short. Yeah, so I don't know. We've literally, I think we've doubled the salary over the last 5 or 6 years.
Are these guys coming in, getting trained, and getting a year under their belt and going on to somewhere bigger? They're just using us to get experience.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
I don't know off the top of my head. I know we do exit interviews with all of them to try to find out why they're leaving and where they're going. I know a lot of them go to other departments.
More money.
But yeah, more money. So that's a real challenge for us is having the personnel to run the ambulances. Ambulances are outrageously expensive now. But if we had the people, we could run them. But anyway, we're going to be talking about some innovative ways to maybe spread that service out and use more EMTs than paramedics. And I hope that'll help.
Maybe just hire an Uber driver to take the EMT somewhere.
Go pick up this body. Yes.
All right. Well,
wow.
I know you're going to go to work.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
I appreciate your candid.
Yes.
Your in total transparency. These are the questions that I'm asking are the questions that are asked me, and and the
Right.
stuff that I read and hear that she tells me all about Facebook and everywhere else, the complaints, the whatevers. So I just like we can address them here.
Yeah,
Right,
and as long as we got
Yeah.
you that will answer the questions, that's good.
No, I learned a lot today, didn't you?
Yes, I
Yes.
You know,
Learned a lot.
did. A lot of it I knew, but I wanted him to say it. It comes
Right.
from him official.
Yeah, I've always tried to be transparent. I try not to. I don't want to shy away from the hard questions.
Mhm.
I'll go into a group if you want to ask me hard questions. I'll give you what I believe is a correct answer, and I'll continue to do that as long as I'm in office.
Well,
I can't make everybody happy, but I'll give
You
you the
never
I'll give you
make
the
everybody
I'll give you the truth.
as long as I know what the
as
truth
much
is,
as-
I
Yeah.
don't blame the messenger ever. I just
Yeah.
Right.
we just
Well, I'm going to go distribute food
Yes,
to at least 50 families
And
who
I'm-
need
and
it.
I'm
Is that at the
prepared.
church right down the
We're,
road?
we're going to be this morning. We're going to be at Blue Creek Baptist Church on
Ah.
Burgaw Highway. It's 1251 Burgaw Highway, and we're going to be doing this every first Thursday of every month
Nice.
at Blue Creek. So, if you know somebody who's in need, they can come by. They're going to start lining up at 9:00. And they only have 50. They only have 50 boxes of food.
Oh.
So hopefully we'll be able to help most of the people that show up. But yeah, again, we'll be there once a month, and it'll be a regular food distribution location, along with many others. Like you said,
Very nice.
you can go. They can go to Center Street. They can go to the church out on Dawson Cabin Road. I can't remember what the name of it is, but anyway, several locations that people can get food if they need it.
Okay. That's
From
good.
the Salvation Army.
Very good.
Good.
So-
Very good.
And the fundraiser is coming up in May.
Yep, May.
Big fundraiser is coming up in May.
Yep. The Johnslow Eats.
Formerly
Looking-
Men Who
so
Cook.
Looking forward to that. Got some great judges. We're going to have some great cooks.
Who are the judges that I need to bribe?
Fun.
There's
Yeah,
Penny
you
at
need,
the
you
hospital.
need to bribe Dr. Penny Burlingame
I got the
Deal
list.
from
Oh,
the
I know her.
hospital.
Yeah, we got her. We
I
got
have
her.
the list right for
I'm in with her.
Judge Hardison.
Uh-oh.
Yep, he'll be a hard one for you. He may not.
He's not open to bribery.
And here you're wanting to increase court fees, and we got the judge
really.
Well, it's
Let's
not court fees. The fees are there. They just got to collect them.
Lorette Ligon, the
Lorette.
chamber
I like
president,
Lorette.
and you might can influence Mike McHugh.
I know. I will. I just
That's
threaten.
my buddy.
I will
Mike.
threaten him. I got no
That's
problem.
right.
with
There
it.
you
That's
go.
that's our man.
Hey,
That's
Michael.
he's part of us.
And Mike Foy.
Mike
So,
Foy. Who's Mike Foy?
And I don't know much
Is any
about
kin to
him.
Sherman Foy? I knew a Sherman Foy.
I
Marcus
What's
Sherman.
he
don't
with-
know much about him.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
we're going to have some great judges.
Yes,
It'll
we
be a
are.
lot of fun. And
We'll be talking about. We'll
coming
explain to you guys what this is all about again here shortly.
you can go to the website,
Yep.
johnsloeats.com.
Is the app up
And,
now?
it is up.
Okay, good.
It is up. I checked it yesterday.
Good.
That's like
So-
the letter J and then OnslowEats.com.
Right. For
Which we're going to
Jones.
change that next year.
Again.
All right. Y'all, I appreciate
Just
you
kidding.
letting me have the time here.
No, we
Our
enjoyed
pleasure.
it.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thanks
to
for
talk to
what you're
people.
doing.
If people want to talk to me, they can certainly call me,
We learned a
text me, or
lot.
email me, and
Some good news today too.
we'll see.
Beach rescue,
Yep.
maybe.
Good stuff.
Beach
Thank you.
rescue on the way.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Royce.
That
Be
was-
careful going out there now.
That was refreshing.
That was good. So much information. I told you he's like an encyclopedia
Yes,
when it
he
comes to
is.
county stuff.
Well, he kind of lives that stuff, and that's good.
Yeah, and you know,
And his real estate
asking them,
background. Oh my God. That's-
asking them all those hard questions too. I mean, because we all are upset, and the county commissioners are upset. They pay taxes too. We all are upset, and it's just one of those things that we just have to. Hopefully, that they'll be able to drop the tax rate and still meet the needs
and
of the
find
county.
Other sources of revenue.
Right,
you know.
right.
If every one of the departments would do like the school system does, the school system has its own budget. Um, the county provides money,
Right.
the people from property taxes to the school system, but they have multiple sources of revenue: the county, the state, the federal government,
I think our
and
biggest thing,
grants and stuff else, other things that they
if the
get.
federal government would like maybe for the counties that have the military bases in them, and maybe if they would give us some type of stipend or something like that to help make up for it, because I love living here. I'm so glad we have the base here. It does cause an impact financially, and maybe that's
Primarily
something
on the schools,
Right.
Seriously,
we can
primarily.
get the congressman to work on it.
The even the people who live here who do not have any kids or grandkids or in the school system, we all pay property
We all
taxes
do.
for this.
Right.
We generally, most of us, the real people out here, we don't regret that. The future, our future, even as old fogies, our future depends upon our younger generation.
Right.
Our younger generation needs to have good education.
I agree.
Otherwise, we're all screwed. Let's just
Well,
put it in simple
look-
terms.
Look at the money they have saved by having Doge go out there and find all this misuse.
Oh, yeah.
and all that. All right, give us some of that money.
Yeah, we can take that. Yeah, where's that? We need that back.
Yes.
All right. Good fishing depends upon the weather, of course. Nice fishing conditions
Nice.
always depends on the weather. Out to 20 nautical miles today. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knot, seas 2 to 4 feet, 10 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, winds out of the south. Actually, for the next 2 days, winds are out of the south 5 to 10. Seas are about the same, 2 to 4 feet, and sounds and rivers only a light chop.
Today, sunny with a high near 83. Light south wind increasing 6 to 11 miles per hour. Winds could gust as high as 18. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 59. Friday, mostly sunny, high near 80. Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 83. Sound like a broken record.
No,
Sunday,
I like broken
showers starting late in the afternoon, partly
like that
sunny
too.
with a high near 82. And the chance of rain as it stands right now, 70% Sunday night. So
We will
Get
be
your
in
grassy out.
we're going to be in the 30% place that doesn't get any probably.
well, I've watched it and it started off for the week 30% and it's
Yeah.
climbed to 70.
That's
So
good.
yes.
We've been told that we get smarter when we get older with life's lessons and all that.
Yeah,
We get
because we've
smarter, don't we?
learned, right.
Seems the reason, given the wisdom we get as we walk through life.
Right.
Another adage is that we learn from our mistakes and the mistakes of others, right?
Right.
We're supposed to do that.
We were supposed to.
2 Greenville men apparently missed out on life's lessons.
Oh, here we go.
The 2 were found dead Monday in a home in Pitt
Oh,
County.
yeah.
The cause of death, it appears they overdosed.
Overdose.
The full coroner's report will come out later and tell us what kind of dope that they were doing. The 2 were identified as 53-year-old
Good Lord.
Alejandro Santoya and 60-year-old Pedro Ovanda,
Pedro.
ages 53 and 60.
You would think.
Thing is, we're seeing more and more older people dying from drug overdoses. And so many of those who die by their lifestyles should have known better. This
Yes.
is not something that they got some extra pills from their doctor and they accidentally took them. No, these are people who intentionally took and put in their bodies
Drugs.
illegal
Drugs.
drugs.
That's
okay?
right.
And I feel bad for their families. I really do. I feel bad for the families. They're at a total loss. They don't know what to do. I don't even know where they are. But 53 and 60. Wouldn't you know something about life by that time?
Right.
Haven't you heard? Haven't you read about all of this stuff? We talk about it mostly every day.
The dangers of fentanyl,
Yeah.
the dangers of drugs laced with fentanyl.
To have 2 people in the same house die at the same time for drug
Yep.
overdoses, that doesn't mean this build up over a period of time. This means they did something, they got into something that they should have known better.
You would think so. I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably both fathers.
What a waste.
You know?
What a waste.
It is.
53 and 60.
It's a shame.
The Pitt County Sheriff's Office is handling the case. If you have any information about this or any other cases, please call them. That's in Pitt County. All too often, people know exactly what is going down in their neighborhood, but they're rightfully afraid of the thugs. We know when there's bad people in our neighborhood doing things. We know when there are issues. We can tell by the number of visitors they have, the types of visitors they've got coming through. We know there's something cooking, right? Talk to somebody. Call the sheriff's office in your town, your police department. Let them know what you're seeing. If you have to complain 28 times to them, do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have the opportunity to clean up your neighborhood, to clean it up. Not sure which counties, how many of them there are in North Carolina that have Crime Stoppers programs. We're lucky here in Onslow County. We have one. It's very active. It's super active, super effective as well. These programs allow you to contact Crime Stoppers by telephone. You will be given a number you can call once you've heard something about the case that you are talking about, because you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers at the time that you know that something about your case came up and somebody's been arrested. You read about it, you hear about it. You can call Crime Stoppers and give them that code number that they gave you when you first called. You will be eligible for a reward. Depends upon how much information you gave, how good it was, and how big the case was, as to how much money you will get. But they'll sit around once a month and decide this case, they will decide, yes, somebody furnished information on this case that led to these arrests. That one's worth a lot of money. Google your county's name and add the word Crime Stoppers. It's a great program, folks. You can get the telephone numbers of your Crime Stoppers, stick it in your purse, your wallet, put it in your cell phone if you want to. And if you see something, say something. Even if you don't want the money, that's great. It's even better. Just give the information to the law. The people who answer the phone are not lawmen. They're not cops. They furnish your information and they don't know your name, so they can't give it to the police officers. You don't have to go to court. You won't even be in court unless you want to go watch the case. You can do that. They won't know who you are.
Right.
Unless you stamp your number on your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, seriously, it's like free money on the table. You're not a bounty hunter, but we all have a little bit of bounty hunter in us, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do.
Don't we haven't you had a desire to go back when you see some of those old TV shows, the movies and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you wish you were a bounty hunter? Haven't you ever thought about, wouldn't that be cool?
Dog the bounty hunter.
Bad people out there have done bad things and they're at large and the police want them and they haven't been able to find them. Mm-hmm. So you go snatch them up and you take them in and you get your reward. You're a bounty hunter.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. I don't think I'd want to do it nowadays. People are too mean.
I would enjoy it. Because the meaner they are, the less nice you have to.
Used to be a day when you went to go serve a paper on them. They, oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Today,
nowadays, you met with a gun. I'm like,
the less nice you have to be when you do that.
Well, no.
Coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're going to talk history of Onslow
We're going to talk
County.
old stuff.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about me and my roots.
Yes, we're going to have
Onslow County.
Lisa Whitman Grice over here. She is the director of the Onslow County Museums.
Yes,
and she is knowledgeable about the history of Onslow County.
Yes, she is.
And this year we're celebrating America 250 across the nation. Mm-hmm. And she's going to be in here to talk to us about what to expect here in Onslow County.
So it's coming up. Things are happening to celebrate the 250th.
Right.
So, she's in here. If you haven't been to the museum or the extension down in Sneeze Ferry.
Nice.
And by the way, for folks, the wildlife officers are coming here to check on something. There's been another alligator, a big one, washed up on the banks of New River.
Where?
Dead.
Oh, Dad.
Dead. Washed up on the bank. It's an albino, maybe. It's all white.
Did he getting some fentanyl too?
I don't know. It's the photo that I saw. It appears to be white. It could be some decomposition involved or whatever, but it's a big gator. It's from the size of it and what was told me, it's 15 feet long.
Ooh,
That's bigger than the 12-footer that they had to kill.
it's bigger than a kayak. Oh, no, thank you.
They don't eat kayaks.
Stay on the
They eat the people in kayaks. They don't eat kayaks.
Could you see yourself kayaking along and here comes this 15-footer right next to you? I'd be like,
Let me put a rope around you. You could tow my butt back to shore.
Crocodile Dundee, I am not.
Oh,
I'm
they
just
don't have any crocs here. We got a lot of crocs.
Alligator Dundee,
stuff,
I
but-
am not.
Gator Gertrude has that.
Gator Gertrude. My aunt's name was Gertrude. We used to call her Gutterball
My
Gertrude.
grandmother's name was Gertrude. Alice Gertrude. Her husband, my granddaddy called her Gertie. So everybody
Yeah,
else called
my
her
aunt was
Gertie.
called Gertie a lot too. Yes.
I always wondered where that
She
came from. As a kid,
was
I didn't know
a
it was
mess.
Gertrude, but
She was a
Gertrude
mess.
was a grand old name.
Well, we talk a lot about government this morning. We're talking about county. You
Oh,
want to
yeah.
go to the city for a minute?
I am in the city.
I
Do
have
need to move?
got this great. Now I've lost it. What
We're
happened to
gonna
it?
find somebody to
No,
run
don't
for
come back,
city
come
that says
back.
we're gonna reduce everything. Y'all not gonna get
right.
nothing.
Here's a post. You know, we're in the brick gate, the Jacksonville brick gate.
Gate.
Yeah, right now. And
You ever heard about Brick and a Mule?
what?
I'll tell you after the show.
Anyway, one of our city council woman, a city council woman,
Thank
had
you.
posted on her page. I love this. This is Councilwoman Cindy Edwards. I love what she posted.
What's that?
But she said, thank you to everyone who has taken the time to share your thoughts, concerns, and desires for the brick section of Core Street downtown using basic courtesy in your communication. It's much appreciated. We need to hear from you when, at times when situations like this arise, and we do hear you.
Yeah.
Options with cost, timelines, and relevant details are being gathered now for review and discussion in the next week because, they put a 15-day hold on everything. For those who chose to start their conversation with cursing, insults, verbal attacks, and ugliness, here are a few facts that you may have missed. And that was what our whole conversation was about.
Yeah.
I see both sides, but the insults and the ugliness is just, all right, here's one. This is not a city council decision. The project was in traffic transit plans since 2021, before several of us were even elected. Council did not choose to have the bricks removed. Most of us heard that part exactly when you did. The bricks are not historical.
Thank you, Cindy.
But they are a beautiful aesthetic for downtown.
Yeah.
I agree. They were installed in the late 90s over a concrete pad. Many have moved, settled, or broken since. We have had multiple reports of walkers tripping because they are uneven or unstable during downtown events. Some drivers have also complained. This does not mean we have to remove them, but it should be part of the consideration. Installing new bricks or repairing what's there would cause the road to be closed much, much longer.
Oh, yeah.
It could
One brick
cost
at a time.
about 150% more than removing them and using different material or process to accomplish a similar look.
Make it a dirt road.
Again, this does not mean we have to remove them, but it should be considered as part of the considerations. Council is not trying to stifle downtown growth or impede businesses. Quite the opposite. A lot of funding has been allocated and spent to improve travel, appearance, stormwater, flooding issues downtown. We know that by
And I think
Bridge
this will
Street.
also improve downtown driving.
This recent resurgence you've seen downtown is a result of multiple efforts by the city and others to improve the area. While the city cannot and should not control private commerce, downtown growth and improvements should continue to be a strong priority. Priority. I love what she said. Crap happens.
Yes.
I was surprised by the brick issue too. It's okay. With hundreds of moving pieces across the entire city, something may occasionally surprise us. That doesn't mean we are enemies. By voicing concerns with a little decency and courtesy, we can work together to find solutions and make informed decisions more effectively. We will find the best options and outcomes when we work together. Rage and hate usually fail to accomplish much at all. And here is a picture. She posted a picture because they brought up like they could put asphalt down and then they could dye and stamp it to make just like the bricks. And she said, this is an image below. Simple example. It's not a decision or recommendation. It is one possibility consideration with cost and timelines, which it would cost more. But, the whole point of what she posted is, behave, settle down. We can talk.
Grow up.
Let's talk about it, but I told you, Raven, what drew my attention to the whole thing to begin with is some of the hate and some of the accusations.
Well, I agree with anything that's historic. Let's just keep it historic. So I have a solution for that. I've been thinking about this ever since it first came up.
All right.
We can solve this whole problem. It will cost a whole lot less money, and it will be restored to historical value.
Okay.
It was a dirt street at one time. We'll turn it to a dirt street.
All righty then. Well, let's put some statues on there too. Let's get some Confederate statues and throw out there.
What's wrong with that?
We can talk about history.
Yeah. So
we just opened up another can of worms.
I'm not going to go driving anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, history has its place. Make sure you got your facts straight.
Right.
When you talk about when does history? When is it? Well, history in 1970, World War II was recent history.
Right.
Very recent history in 1970.
1990s.
And
it's not history.
It's 1990 is no. There's nothing historical about 1990 anything. Those buildings that our friend
Martin and Lori have done a fabulous job downtown.
Biagio's is amazing.
Yes.
That whole building, what
and the
they
one
did
next
with
to
it and got it up and operating from the get-go.
Right.
I watched it as they were doing it.
They have put a lot of money into downtown.
I wish more advantage could be taken of that facility.
Yes.
And maybe some improvements to the roads or whatever, the driving, it's kind of hit and miss when I've gone through there when I used to work not far from there.
Right.
To be able to run back and yada, 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 grab, it was a destination. It wasn't something I could stop at and grab something and run. I could, but I couldn't count on it.
I know I criticize a lot about, back in the day when we could have built a jail elsewhere or whatever, but I think the county and the city has done a fabulous job with what we've got to work with downtown.
Yeah, well, it is what it is there.
That's right, it is.
Make the best of it. That decision was made. That horse is dead. Quit beating it.
That horse is ridden out of the stable.
Yeah, so, when it comes time to replace the current facility, fine.
Which will probably be many years down the road, but it is what it is.
I thought that about the previous facility too.
Well, let me tell you what.
I remember when that was built, I put people in the other jail.
Traveling north on 17, and when you approach the bridges where the courthouse is that not the most beautiful sight at night?
Yeah,
it
much prettier than it was. I'll just tell you that.
Very nice.
So, okay, we're done. And tomorrow we've got Lisa Whitman-Greisen here to talk about everything old.
That's right.
And I get to be older too.
And I have my book here that I brought. I'm sure she's already probably got one like this, but this is the the Heritage of Onslow County, North Carolina. And it was put together by the Onslow County Historical Society. And I don't know what date was it written. I'm not really sure. Oh, here we go. 1983. That makes this
historical. That's history.
It's historical.
Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day.
Yes.
If somebody goes fishing, please, for God's sakes, call me. Let me know where you've been.
I'm going to send you pictures.
Send me pictures of going fishing.
No, there's people from Sneeze Ferry and North Topsail, all these places that are posting pictures
But
every
they
day.
need to post them with us. Send them to us. We'll post them.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to post them. You're live and local. We'll talk where we're awake, not woke, and we'll see you in the morning. See you. Goodbye.
Bye.